This is First Gen Xers.
Poetic beats.
Are live. Hello out there in Twitch land. Let me make a quick modification again. Boop, there we go. All right. I am Dark Lord 100. These two gentlemen above me are my co-hosts on this lovely ride that we call the Cheap Pop Podcast. Thank you guys out there for joining us. Um, to your right, my left, is the one and only Rune Scryer. What's up, sir? On the night shift. And to my right, or your left, is the one and only Saint Agent K28.
What's good with it, Planet Earth? What's good? We're talking shit. Let's go, man. Let's go.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go.
We are
All right.
We're supposed to be cooking here. We're supposed to be cooking.
For those of y'all who don't know, we open the show with what I affectionately call a hot shot. And today's hot shot is Creature Commandos.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. James Gunn. As my man right here, Rune Scryer said, James Gunn understood the assignment and got it done.
He definitely understood it.
He
definitely understood it. Yes. He did. He did.
Yeah.
He did his. He did his job. I'm. This is gonna be, if you manage to really watch it and you understand what it's all about, then it's definitely you gotta get with it and like, hey, now you're gonna understand how Superman is just going to just be like, yeah, this is an opening. This is a great opening for the DCU. And
yeah, touchdown on the opening drive in the Super Bowl. Go on, Dave.
Yeah. I mean, just the number of Easter eggs, foreshadowing, even in the final episode where we see the new Creature Commandos for season 2, and yes, there will be a season 2.
Yep.
One of the characters is going to be is a mummy. The guy that was sitting down with the wild reddish hair.
Yeah.
That's a mummy. I can't remember his name, but that's going to hint that Hawk Girl in Superman, we're going with the Egyptian reincarnation version of Hawk Girl.
Wow. Okay. For me, it was. I'm not as deep into it as you guys are as far as the characters. For me, it was just a wild ride in regards to like just watching. Like, first and foremost, James Gunn, can you stop making me like characters and then killing them?
Oh,
can you please? Or just stop making me like them if you're gonna kill them. Because G.I. Robot, like, I know he came back at the end, but man, that was my dog. Me and him could kill Nazis together anytime. Like, I'm good.
Nah, man, Dr. Phosphorus, man, that was the great Alan Tudyk.
Yeah.
Just like, man, he's been like, he's my favorite one. Like, because he's the asshole.
Yep.
Well,
he just gives like zero fucks, man.
And
you don't care.
With that episode that focused on him, you understand why he gives zero fucks.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But let's have a moment of silence for Nina. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah,
I have,
tugged at my heartstrings.
I was telling,
Why?
like I
That
was telling
that
Ken,
was fuckery.
Yeah.
I like
That
I was telling Dark Lord 100 before we started. I have never had my guts ripped out
While
while
watching.
seeing someone get their guts ripped out like
Yep.
that.
Oh, I.
And the total swerve that they had in that final episode
Yeah.
where, oh yeah, we gotta kill this bitch.
Oh yeah. Well, no, I'll
Oh,
say this. Nina's death tugged at my heart and killed me with every stab from the princess. Um,
but the
because, be-
bride, yeah.
because because Nina had my favorite line out of all what 7 episodes
Mhm.
when her and the bride are laying on the ground
Yeah,
after just getting their ass kicked by Cersei. And the bride turns to her and goes, "I'm so sorry." And Nina, whose helmet has been broken, she can hardly breathe, goes, "Go, fuck yourself." And episode cut. Greatest
yeah,
line in the whole series, as far as I was concerned. That was just
yeah.
awesome.
And just everyone having that tragic backstories
Yeah,
in there.
yeah,
Nina's turned out to be probably the most tragic out of
yeah,
all of them, and
yeah.
you just can't feel anything but sympathy for the character. Is so messed up. But
And
you know, I'm still in shock though of that swerve
oh
that this was a just as planned plot by
yeah,
the princess in
oh
there. And here's the thing, Saint, um, Clayface in Creature Commandos was also voiced by Alan Tudyk.
yeah.
So
really?
Yeah.
compare that to his Clayface in Harley Quinn, which by the way, new season of Harley Quinn drops on the 16th.
On the 16th. All right, keep a lookout
Yeah.
for that. I haven't had a chance to check out the other 5 seasons. This is season 5, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
The other
Season
four.
5. Oh
I'll
God,
have to
yeah.
go back and check it out. I'm a
Watch
huge
them.
Kelly Kuko fan. Is a huge Big Bang Theory
Yeah,
fan. So yeah,
but yeah, just showing the range between two different interpretations of the character like
yeah,
that. I
nice.
mean,
Well,
yeah,
getting back to Creature Commandos, I'll say this: like by the end of that show, there were two things that were true to me. First and foremost, Weasel is and forever will be my boy.
yeah.
That's my dog right there.
Weasel is a good boy.
Yes, he is. Um, and Weasel's my dog, and I agree with you. I agree with you, Dave, from your post. Like somebody needs to sit Frankenstein down and have a conversation with his ass,
Yeah,
bro. Like stalking,
bro. Yeah,
bro, like chill,
you know,
like
yeah,
I get it. I get it, but you walked in on Dr. Frankenstein banging it out of her. So like let it
yeah,
go, bro.
just
Like
yeah,
obviously she was not made for you.
yeah.
Okay, she is
It
for
was
them streets. All
you
right.
obviously got bad intel from a bad friend. Okay,
Exactly.
so you
uh,
know you got set up there. Just
Said
move
bad.
on.
He said bad intel. That's some fuckery.
I'm
Yep.
just
Man,
saying,
that's
man.
oh gosh.
I felt bad for my boy Frankenstein, like,
Oh
and the
yeah.
lengths that he was going to, like,
Yeah,
dude.
absolutely. And, oh, did you? By the way, did you catch the post credits scene?
Yeah, yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I did.
So
Like, we
yeah,
ain't done with him
and
yet. We ain't done
yeah,
with him
we ain't done with them yet.
yet.
It'd be interesting to see if David Harbour is going to manage to skip back and forth between the MCU as Red Guardian and the DCU as
Yeah.
Frankenstein. If we're going to see him in a live action as Frankenstein, or
Oh man.
you know,
I don't
I
know. That's a good question. I don't
100%.
I don't think has
not
anybody ever
back and forth,
crossed.
not back and
Well, I
forth.
mean,
I mean, once you're done with one company,
Yeah, you
you
can
go to
go
the
to.
other. You're
Yeah,
not coming back.
you should be done with the. I think you should be done with
Yeah.
the other one.
So
yeah.
I don't know.
But it
We'll
doesn't mean you
see.
can't eventually, like,
Right.
finish your contract with the other and then come back to the other
Right.
one. It all
Right.
depends on what their needs are, as opposed
Right. And
to.
it also depends on what the contracts stipulate.
Right.
I want to say this is on DC, but I
Yeah.
wouldn't put it across to Marvel. One side of the contract specifically states that while you are under contract with the company, you cannot do any projects with
For the other
the
country.
competitor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That I would say that's pretty standard fare. Like also like I would say this. Um, I think there are certain people that you'll never see show up in DC.
yeah.
RDJ, like
Chris Evans.
Chris Evans, like these are the people who played those critical roles. I don't know if you'll ever see them show up in a DC
Yeah,
movie. You might a few years down the road, but I doubt it anytime soon.
yeah.
You know, so I'm pretty sure RDJ had his pick of characters that he could have played
Well,
with James Gunn
Chris
in
Evans
DC.
is Chris
What's that?
Evans has already been in the DC project.
Well,
Right.
yeah,
I
he was
know.
in the losers.
Yeah,
That
the
was,
Yeah.
losers.
yeah, that was after Fantastic Four.
Hey,
Before
Yeah.
before
give a
Captain
shout out.
America.
Hello, Miss DJ Too
Hey,
Cute.
DJ. Hey.
Hey,
What is
DJ
up?
Too Cute representing WBRP in the
Yeah.
building.
Hey.
How you doing? How you doing?
So, all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, all right, but yeah, so Creature Commandos on HBO Max. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's about
Yeah.
7 episodes. Blow your mind. DC animated at it again. You know, hitting home run after home run.
Yep.
We'll see what this translates to moving forward with Superman. You know, there's a lot going on there, and I think they have the right man to handle it in James Gunn. So,
Yeah.
next up, what we're going to do right quick is we are going to take a pause and we are going to go Pop Culture Corner. Oh, what's up, y'all? What's up? So,
The fuckery, man.
the fuckery is always up. Just watch Leverage, I'll tell you. Anyway, Dave, you had some things for us on Pop Culture Corner today.
Oh man, I got a lot of things to go on Pop Culture Corner. So first off, and didn't get this in to you guys, but Miss Cynthia Erivo of Wicked fame,
Mhm.
she is putting her name into the ring to play Storm.
Wow.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
So
Okay.
we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I haven't really seen her. I haven't seen Wicked. It's not exactly my favorite musical, but yeah, I'll check out some of her stuff and see how she does.
For sure. For
So
sure.
yeah,
Like, you know, all right. Here's the thing with me. I think that as big of a risk as going after what would be considered no names or B or C list actors
right.
for A list roles is this. Is that
Yeah,
if they perform well, you got a new star. If they don't, they could drag the whole project down with them.
right.
But the thing about it is, I think that there's something to going out and finding, especially for things like Wicked, like Marvel, like DC, going out and finding people who have not been in these types of roles before and
Right.
putting them into those. Because of course, if you recycle the same 7 actors, ask Tyler Perry. He's made a success over 30 years of recycling basically the same 14 actors in every movie, TV show, and everything that he has. So, you know, but hey, that's him putting his people on, and I can't hate on him for that. But at the end
Yeah.
of the day, when it comes to the Marvel stuff, like really, I think they're better off going out and finding people who are known, but aren't necessarily like mega stars.
Yeah, exactly. I completely agree on that. And they've done a great job. Marvel does a great job at actor rehabilitation also.
Yes.
I mean, let's face it, RDJ, Oscar-winning actor, crash and burn. Everyone wrote him off. Even getting on Ally McBeal didn't help. He was nowhere until Iron
Yep.
Sorry
Well,
about that. I just read what Too Cute was saying.
Man. Too cute, spilling some tea out
He
here.
is.
Yeah.
He is. Like the bottom line is like, look, Tyler Perry had about a 5-year window. where he hit his peak. I'm not gonna necessarily say it's from the time he started to year 5, but in the 20 years
Hmm.
he been doing it, he had about a 5-year window where he was at his peak, but definitely
And
ain't near the
I,
that peak anymore.
I just can't hear Tyler Perry's name without thinking of the Winston Jerome skit on the Boondocks.
That episode is
Damn.
hilarious with
It
Grandpa.
is.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Oh
Yeah,
my goodness.
yeah.
But
But
All right, the cross
but you
bears
but you know what?
Christ.
It's like and what Too Cute was saying, because there have been like Roxy, man, like she watched the last Tyler Perry movie, and it was like, what the hell is this? Like for
Mhm.
real, like,
I
and I'm
genuinely
looking
don't
at
think he
this
cares
like,
anymore.
no,
People
but
come
it's
because
like
his
some,
name's on
but
it.
it's the same movie. You
Yep.
know, the either the light skinned dude is the villain, or or some guy did something to to this and that, and the best friend is the
She's
one
been pregnant
that's
for eight
holding this, yeah,
years.
yeah, the one.
Oh, 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 I'm
Oh,
dead.
okay, I'm sorry.
Nah, that was gold right
Damn.
there. You've been pregnant for
Oh,
8 years. Oh man. All right.
Okay.
oh, okay.
Go on, Saint. Go on.
That, I mean, I can't even stop that 'cause I'm looking at these.
That's crazy. That's
Yeah, she
crazy,
Oh,
just
man.
slid on her. Damn, like
Oh,
damn. But
uh,
seriously, same
they gonna
plot.
be a
These same kind of stories. By the
Oh.
time they had twins. All right, too.
This is just telling you she got a point though. She got
yeah.
she got a point. Oh
But
man.
it's like all these, and it's like some of these movies I've seen like are really really crazy, and but I will say this though, they do recycle the same, and I guess they keep it within that, within the budget, or
Bro,
it's a loyalty,
Yeah.
you know,
almost
it's a
every
loyalty
Medea
thing.
movie followed the same beats.
Yeah.
Almost
Oh,
every Medea movie followed the exact same beats. And like if you watch them all consecutively, it stands out. But I ain't gonna lie, the first 4 or 5 Medea movies, I was in the theater for everyone laughing my ass off, watching them laughing my ass off. It's just that at a certain point, I stopped laughing.
yep. I got that. You know.
You know?
So,
All right.
all right. So moving on.
Yes.
Uh, getting back to
Sidetracking.
pop culture. Yeah. So tomorrow, January 13th, 2025.
Okay.
All you anime fans out there, Macross arrives on Hulu.
You lie.
No, tomorrow, everything 20 plus years of
Okay,
Macross
so
arrives on Hulu, except for the original Super Dimension Fortress Macross. Everything else, though,
All
okay,
I need, all I
okay,
need is Macross Plus. Is the 4 episodes
Mac,
of Macross
yeah.
you
Plus.
and you know what? You're getting Macross Plus. You're getting Macross Plus Movie Edition, Macross Delta, Macross Delta Passionate Valkyrie, Macross Delta Zeta Live,
So
Macross
that's everything.
everything, 15 separate
Wow.
Macross, yeah, including my favorite outside of the original Macross, Frontier, and the three follow-ups, False Songstress, Wings of Farewell, Labyrinth of Time.
Okay,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
I have the
We're,
20th off, and I think I know what I'm doing
yeah,
with about
the,
75% of my
we're,
day.
yeah, yeah, you're even, yeah, you're even getting the off-brand Macross 2 Lovers Again, which
Nice.
was Big West
Okay.
trying to do Macross without Studio Nue.
I don't think that there is a no. There is not a one-to-one correlation, but there is word that Macross Plus was the inspiration for those of you who don't know too. Battle. No, what's the name of that damn show? Why is it not? Why is it Robotech
Okay,
in
no,
America?
original. Okay,
Yeah.
We,
original. I don't want to get on a rant because we'll be here the rest of the hour
Yeah.
just talking about Macross. But the original Robotech, first generation Robotech, that is Super Dimension Fortress Macross. That
Okay.
is the Americanization.
Okay.
Okay, so
But
So you want?
that's one of the reasons. That's one of the reasons why when you said Macross, it's when you said that, because hey, that's that's not usually coming stateside. You
Yeah.
know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
because Harmony Gold's a
Woo.
little bitch.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
but
So
you can buy it. For those of you who don't know, you can buy it on Prime. Like, if
Oh
you
yeah.
really got a Macross fix, you can buy Robotech. But now,
no,
you can't
no.
buy Robotech anymore. You used to be
No,
able
no,
to buy
no, no, no.
Robotech.
You could no, you could buy, but it's like that's like that's like watching that's like watching Battle of the Planets and
Instead of
having and
Gatchaman.
being with Gatchaman, like
Yeah,
the
yeah,
That was the American version of it. You
All
know what I'm
right.
saying?
Got you.
So it's like, yeah, it's
yeah.
kind of like,
So it's yeah, it is different. It hits different
Yeah.
yeah,
when you know the original and you see the Americanization. It hits different. I will say that Harmony Gold actually did improve Super Dimension Cavalry Southern Cross, which is second generation Robotech,
Okay.
compared to the original stuff that they had going on with Southern Cross in Japan.
Okay. Okay.
They
So I
actually
have to
made
ask you
Dana,
this
yeah,
because I've heard this from a lot of anime fans. Was Minmay truly annoying in both versions?
no,
Oh,
no,
really?
absolutely not. Only in Robotech.
Okay.
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 In the original Super Dimension Fortress, she was a genuine star. She
Okay.
was
yeah,
she was a star that was out of her depth and trying to be those stuff. She wasn't just this whiny, clingy little girl who was indecisive, leading everyone on in
yeah,
there.
because
Yeah.
they change, because sometimes they change,
Yeah.
the dynamic of some of the
And
characters in
I
there,
mean,
and then it's like,
yeah.
what the fuck
Like
was
like
that?
for like for example with Robotech, the romance with Lynn Kyle.
Yeah.
Okay, in Robotech, it's her cousin.
Right.
Right?
In the original Japanese, the word that they use is something closer to kinsman, like
Yeah.
same clan, same family, but not a direct branch.
Nice.
Right.
So related, it's like two people being called Smith. So
Gotcha.
yeah,
Gotcha.
so there's decisions that are made. But on the Minmay front, Minmay in original Macross, voiced by Mari Ijima.
Okay.
Mari Ujima is still a massive star in J-pop. She is still selling out concerts in Japan,
Nice. Nice.
touring, singing songs from Macross and her own catalog.
Wow. Which, by the way,
So,
another suggestion: the Macross Plus music soundtrack, amazing. That
um,
song "Voices" still haunts me.
it still is, but I gotta tell you, it's Macross Frontier for the soundtrack for me.
Yeah.
I mean, just that is because you got two really fantastic vocalists in Macross Frontier, and it's a really great storyline between the two of them, where the
Nice.
superstar is helping the newbie, and there's a reciprocal girlfriendship going on there, where they help each other and lift each other up in
And
the times of need.
and just to kind of bring it home to personally, Macross Plus was one of the first times that I ever encountered a black anime character.
Hmm.
Like it was one of the rare few times early on in my experience of dealing with anime in which I actually that was another thing that really hooked me into that was the fact that there was that the female character, I forget who she was, in relationship, wasn't she on the she
Well,
was on
Claudia Grant.
the yeah.
I can't remember. I think she was also called Claudia in the original Macross.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So
So
that
mm.
anything else for us, or
Yes.
what else you got
Okay,
for us?
Gen Xers, grab onto your seats because Retro Toy Company Super 7, they are re-releasing Micronauts.
Nice Micronauts,
Yes.
Micronauts.
Now, for those
Man,
of
that
you
was way back when I was
that,
still like,
yep,
geez, man.
77 is when it arrived from Japan to the U.S.
That's the year
Now,
I was born.
yep, there's only two, there's only two figures that they have available for pre-order. Baron Karza and Biotron.
Okay. Okay.
Now,
Okay.
they're both at the 3 and a quarter inch scale rather than the gigantic size. I mean,
Yeah.
Biotron, you were able to put one of the regular Micronaut figures in the chest of Biotron. And Baron Karza, I mean, he had the magnetic joints, so you could just rearrange him,
Yeah.
and make it into a centaur and all sorts of other awesome stuff. Um, but like I said, this is just their first foray. This is what they're calling Wave One.
Okay.
They're both on pre-order at the Super Seven website for
Okay.
$40 for both.
Nice.
But yeah, now the importance of Micronauts is that first of all, this is what gave us 3 and a quarter inches as the standard for action figures.
Okay.
They were
Okay.
the first 3 and a quarter inch. This set the standard for GI Joe for everyone else.
I was
Because
gonna
before
say, yeah,
then,
like GI Joe, Transformers, like
yeah,
those small
but
ones. Yeah.
GI Joe, yeah, but GI Joe, original GI Joe was in the 11-inch range,
Oh yeah.
like
Oh yeah.
Barbie stuff. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah. So
Hell, back then, back in the 70s, man, it was nothing but like 12-inch, like
yeah, even Star
12
Wars.
inch dolls, or
Yeah,
what they
even
call considered dolls, you know?
yeah, exactly. Even Star Wars, you had the 3 and a quarter inch legendary Kenner stuff, but Kenner also put out 11-inch scale Han Solo, Luke Skywalker,
Really?
Chewbacca, all the others. Yeah, I still
I
got
never
my
knew
Han
that.
Solo and Chewbacca. Yeah, um, yeah.
Anyway.
But
Uh.
yeah, so that is available, and
Nice.
so we will see if this is going to lead to resurgence. And the other great thing about Micronauts was that they were the Legos of action figures
Okay.
because
Okay.
they came in with standard plugs for the chest, for the back, for
You
hands,
just
for feet.
made some match
You could
them.
for heads, you could switch around.
Nice.
The vehicles were interchangeable parts. The buildings building play sets were interchangeable parts.
Okay.
So imagine if GI Joe were Legos and you could swap around however you felt. You could
That would
take
be
that.
dope.
You could put that. You could take the dual machine guns from the Vamp, plop it on, say like have it on the cupola of the Mobat.
Nice.
And they would
Okay.
trade, and sometimes you would trade pieces too, sometimes.
Exactly. Yep.
Now
Yeah.
I'll share with you my one biggest disappointment with GI Joes ever, and I'm pretty sure there are millions of other kids out there that had this problem. But that goddamn what was it? The parachute didn't work for shit. Like I'd throw my GI Joe up and it
Yeah.
would just blam.
Yep. Yep.
Man,
Yep.
I'm like
That's that
you stay
bullshit.
you sit on the bed and be like go thinking like a little bit of air and just wham.
Oh.
Man,
Yeah.
come on, man. Like that, yeah. Sorry, not trying to sidetrack you, but man, like yeah, I had that issue with GI Joes. I know a lot of
All
people
right.
did. But
Okay.
all right. So
And
go ahead.
finally, from my corner of the internet, um, I took a look at the IMDb cast listing for the upcoming Captain America Brave New World,
Yes.
hitting us Valentine's Day,
On the
February.
14th.
Yep. So we already know the big players. We already know we got Anthony Mackie, Harrison Ford, uh, and all that. We know we got Tim Blake Nelson returning as the leader with physically extended forehead. Yay. And we know we got Giancarlo Esposito, who's always a star
Yep.
in
No
there.
matter what's he
But
in.
looking at the cast list, okay. Um, so first off, Liv Tyler's going to be back as Betty Ross. So if we're getting Red Hulk, I would not be surprised if Red She-Hulk shows up as well.
That could also lead us to the Hulk She-Hulk season 2
Yep, exactly.
instead of doing what's her name?
Tatiana Monsley, yeah.
Yeah.
Jennifer, yeah. Well, I mean, I just with Daredevil coming back, I just want She-Hulk to make a return because
Nice.
that pairing was just fantastic.
Yeah, it was.
It,
Yeah, it
yeah.
was.
All right, but it looks like we are getting the first ever MCU supervillain group
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
with
Remember
the
saying
Serpent with the Serpent Society
that.
because
Nice.
there's a lot of Serpent Society. For those of you who don't know, Serpent Society is a mid-tier um, Captain America villain group.
Mm.
Right? It's basically these are this is a group that Steve generally kind of takes on solo, or like 4 or 5 at a time. But I'm not kidding you. But it's the first ever supervillain group for the MCU because we've got Rosa Salazar from Battle Angel Alita playing Rachel
Nice.
Layton, aka Diamondback. Um,
Right.
okay, we've got Johannes Hakur Johansson playing Copperhead.
Copperhead. It's a hell
Yep,
of a name.
yep. Uh, who else did I see that's going to be in there? Yeah, and of course Giancarlo Esposito as Sidewinder, and we've got about like 3 or 4 names
That could be.
that are
Yep.
in there that could be in there. So uh, this could be the first MCU villain group, which would be kind of interesting to do, and also um, builds up another MCU threat, that being the Roxxon Energy Corp,
Okay.
because the Serpent Society began as Roxxon's in-house Black Ops team
Okay.
to do all of the nasty stuff before they branched out on their own.
Nice.
So
Nice. So we could be
yeah,
seeing
I'm
that
looking
come to
forward.
fruition.
Yep, and
I just
also
hope that they do something with Adam. But go ahead.
yeah, also a few other
Just
cool
want to see something.
castings. Yeah, two other great castings for Cap is going to be Danny Ramirez back from Falcon and Winter Soldier, re-
Nice.
returning as Joaquin Torres, aka the new Falcon.
Yep.
Remember Sam's Air Force buddy who's helping
Yep.
him with the tech stuff in
Yep.
Falcon and Winter Soldier? He's the new Falcon, straight up.
Nice.
And
Nice.
we are getting Carl Lumley as Isaiah Bradley.
Nice. That is awesome. Like,
Yep.
can't wait to see that movie. Like, I've been waiting a few years for it, but like, yeah, definitely can't wait to
Yep.
see it all come to fruition. Like I was telling Runskar when we were off air, they expect this movie to be a long movie and expect there to be a lot of story
Yep.
involved and a lot of setup involved
Yep.
because this is basically the new launching off point
Yeah.
after the whole Jonathan Majors thing.
My
Like,
only con-
so
yeah,
go ahead.
my only real concern is that we might be packing too much stuff into one film, even for 2.5 hours. Might
Yeah.
be packing in too many plot lines because you got Red Hulk, you got the leader, and now you're packing in Serpent Society as a global threat.
Well, Well, yeah, but
Um,
here's the thing about it. Within this movie, you don't have to necessarily give an origin story to every one of those groups. You can
that's
just
true.
have them appear and then have a later TV show or movie
Right.
give their actual
Yeah.
origin and how everything started. Right now they can just throw them into this situation, a la, not a la, but a la George Lucas with Star Wars, throwing you into the
Yeah.
middle of the book. So I see what you're saying, like that could be that could be an issue, but we won't know
Because
till February 14th.
Yeah, because that's one of the things that really killed Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 3 was
Yeah,
just there were too many stories and villains going on.
at
But
the
I
same
see what
time,
you're saying. I see what
yeah,
you're saying, Dark Lord. So I agree. It all depends. And yeah, I mean, I'm buying my ticket for that. I'm
yeah.
I'm definitely I am there for that. I am as much as I love Chris Evans as Captain America, I am all 125% in for Sam as
And I think,
Captain
man,
America.
yeah,
I mean,
100%.
because they got the assignments right with Sam as Captain America.
Yeah,
They know how to write the speeches that just hit hard,
yep. And he knows how to
and
deliver them.
he,
That's
he
Anthony
he
Mackie.
knows how to write the reality check.
Yeah, no shit. Saint, your thought. Give us your thoughts as we wrap up this segment.
Look, I'm just looking forward to seeing how this is gonna go.
Yeah,
Okay. Because I mean, I know the stories and the mythos when it comes to the story of the Red Hulk, and all of that.
all right,
We'll just have to see. But I'm looking forward to it.
All right, we're gonna throw some rapid thoughts at you guys here, just to see what your thoughts are, real quick. Um, well, I'll say Peacock is rebooting the cult favorite fantasy series Grimm.
Yep.
And gentlemen, any thoughts on it? I
I
wasn't.
I never watched Grimm because I was a cord cutter back when that started. So,
Got you.
and I had like freaking 15 shows to keep track of.
No shit.
Uh,
And I watched every single episode,
Yeah.
every single one.
So how you feeling as a fan, man? That they rebooting it?
Um, if there's going to be a good continuation, and if any of the characters can make a can make a guest appearance, David Goodman Tully
yep.
and also Russell Hornsby,
Mm-hmm.
hey, yeah,
You all
even
for it?
Mitchell Weir,
All
you
right.
know, if they can make some of those, those guest appearances, and they bring it up to date, or possibly even taking it to another
Level.
Yeah.
part of this country or something like that, to that degree.
Yeah, but
We
when it comes to modern Gothic horror, you really can't beat Pacific Northwest. I mean,
Right.
I live
Yeah,
here.
true.
Yeah, I live here, and it's like 70% shadowed woods. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, you're in the shadowed woods, and then all of a sudden, hey, we got a city with 1 million+ people in here.
Heck yeah. All right. So, and this will be
Yeah.
the last subject right here, gentlemen. This is kind of video game and pop culture related. The success of Last of Us adaptation and potential slate that already includes a God of War series. Sony announced a few movies and television shows based off of games, including here, Horizon Zero Dawn and Ghost
Yes,
Okay.
Tsushima. The Ghost of
Ghost of Tsushima
Tsushima, I heard, is a television show, not a movie. But the
right.
Horizon Zero Dawn, I believe, is a movie.
It
Okay.
is. They are going to do a movie.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you this, because a movie, because when it comes to video game adaptations of movies,
Mm.
I get a little worried, and that's kind of, and I mean, with the movies, I mean, we already
Yeah, you
know
mean
some
movie
of the dumpster
adaptations of
fire,
video
yeah,
games? Yeah.
some of the dumpster fires, some of the Resident Evil dumpster fires,
Yeah.
because there were a couple of, there were
They
good
weren't
ones,
all tip
but
top.
then,
They weren't all tip
but
top. I agree.
when it came to some of their characters that were part of the series, and I've played all the Resident Evil games, trust and believe you me, it was somewhat of a dumpster fire.
Yeah.
Um, but Horizon Zero Dawn, I'ma say this because I love Aloy.
Hmm.
Okay, that character, is she's very complex or what have you, especially because I played the first one. I'm currently going to be playing the second one pretty soon. Um, that that's gotta. I know that would be a hell of a budget. The CGI, if there is CGI, it better be correct, man. I'll tell
Yeah.
you, Dave. Come on, man. Come on, back
I,
me.
I'm backing
Um,
you up. I think that the Horizon story is just even for the first game, not including Frozen Waste DLC. This is the first game in itself. It's too complex to be covered in even a 2.5 hour movie. It needs. I think it'd be better as a mini, excuse me, as a mini series,
Okay.
and with Sony's partnership with Hulu. I mean, Hulu would be a great platform for it. Um, but what I am looking forward to most is for Horizon big budget adaptation. I cannot wait for the epic meltdown when Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg realize that they are the big bad guys. In, you
Uh,
know,
uh,
I cannot wait for that.
We shall see. We shall
Yes.
see them blow up. All right, so that's gonna close out Pop Culture Corner and all the fuckery that goes on within that. I'll say we will be back on the back end where we're gonna have a first time ever. You have to stick around to find out what it is, though. We're gonna have a first time ever.
What could it
You're
be?
listening to or watching the Cheap Pop Podcast right here on First GenXers Twitch. I am Dark Lord 100. Above me is Agent K28 and Rune Squire. We will see you guys on the back end. Peace. Come on, there we go.
Got to keep it lovely. You got to keep it, keep it. You got to keep it lovely. Success comes right after the struggle. I ain't even giving up on whatever I wanted. The tragedies I've seen, I can't even stomach. Most of y'all weak as shit and would've started running. Every time I make it back to the crib, I'm thankful the Most High let me see all of it. Grateful I'm lovely, and I'm being real with this. Please don't judge me, I'ma stay on my shit. I'ma keep a grind mode button, push it, make it do something. No balls for me, cause I'm a loose cannon. I get to choose camera, switch it up, look up a new banner. Keep smoking on that bama.
We back at it. Yep, we still doing it.
Poetic beat.
First GenXers. Gia. Let's get it, y'all. Come on. We back in the building. It's been a long time cooking in the soup kitchen. And I'm chilling with the same. Dropping these beats, won't stop, nope, I can't. Let me get up in the lab, turn it up. Game on with the first GenXers. What's up? Let's flip on the switch or the Xbox and get up in my zone, I'm clowning. Let me clear my throat for a minute. Shout out to my folks while I'm in it. It ain't nothing but love, it's babe business. I really don't know what's so who ain't feeling this. And this is only the beginning. Now versus then, this is something for the chillin'. Poetic got the joints like McDonald's. I'm loving it. It's the first gen. We're now rocking with Poetic Beats. This is the first GenXers production. Get your PlayStations out. Get your Xbox out. Get your Switch out. Let's get it in, y'all. Holla back.
They say that beauty is in the eye of the beholder. But the definition of beauty is distorted. Yeah, come on. Searching for yourself, so insecure about the way you look, so you go to Miami. You can't find the love within yourself.
Hello, y'all out there in Radio Land and in Video Land. What's up? It's me, Double KK Double, and I'm here to run down for you what the new, as of November 1st, or as of today, lineup is on Live 365. That's right, your place to find all your favorite old and classic Four Aces Present shows starring myself, The Saint, uh, Mr. Deacon, Ms. Optimism, E Reed, and also your boy Cole with the FU Wrestling Podcast, and also a World of Wrestling podcast. We'll see. Let's go down the roster of the Monday through Friday. At 12:30 a.m., you will open your day hearing an episode of Now versus Then, followed up at 3:45 a.m. by an FU Wrestling Podcast Classic episode. We finish out our mornings at 6:20 a.m. with a double case classroom, 30 minutes. You get a new episode daily. Then we follow that up with a classic episode of K Double's fifth period music class, the show you love me on. I know y'all be watching, listening, and all that. Let's see, and then now we follow that up at the middle of the day on the East Coast and the late morning on the West Coast with 3 hours of Now versus Then Deuce, including a new episode every Wednesday of the new episodes of Now versus Then airing on Twitch right here. If you're watching this on video. Then we follow that up with an episode of KD5P with a new episode every Tuesday at 12:45 p.m. of KW's fifth period music class from Live 365. And then we get 3:20, we get the Worldwide Wrestling Podcast revisited with a new episode of the Cheap Pop Podcast on Thursdays at 3:20. Let's see, and then we get Now versus Then revisited at 5:30. All of these shows from this point forward, with an exception for the next one. Or actually, no, just that show is a replay of the Now versus Then from that morning in case you missed it. Then we get West Coast Bias, a classic episode at 9:05 every night with a new episode of The Classroom every Friday with me and O'Malley on Sundays. And then we close out every night with a 40-minute edition of Lip Gloss and Mics. That's all right here on the First GenXers Radio Network, the radio network that brings you the classic episodes from Four Aces Presents Network, radio network on Blog Talk Radio and on Spreaker. You can still catch us over on Spreaker with the podcast. And lastly, I am Double KK Double. Check out my website, 2kk2network.com, to find everything about my network. And I'll see you guys there. Peace. All right, what's up, y'all? And I'm back. All right, so here we go. Last time I hipped you to what was going on Saturdays and Sundays right here on Live 365, and now I'm going to hip you what's going on Monday through Friday. So now I'm going to hip you what's going on Saturday and Sunday. We open up each Saturday and Sunday at 12:30 a.m. with a classic episode of Mr. Deacon's Experience, followed by at 2:40 a.m. An classic episode of Ms. Optimism Speaks. We follow that up with a classic episode. Now, mind you, this is both on Saturday and Sunday. The days don't break apart till a little bit later. But you at 5:15 a.m. you get a classic episode of Brick in a House. Then you can follow that up with an episode of Reality Radio. Then at 10 a.m., as usual, she will stay in the same spot. We got Sam Brett with a classic episode of Sam Brett Radio Roulette or some other Sam Brett related show. We'll follow that up at 12:10 with Mr. Deacon Revisited again. Probably play the same episode from earlier in the evening. Then you're going to hear Lovely Radio at 2:45. And then that's where things kind of change up. On Saturdays, after Lovely Radio goes off the air at 4:50, at 5 o'clock, you have KD5P, KW's fifth period music class, where I bring you music from the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, the double aughts, whatever type of music you like to listen to, especially if you're Gen X. Then we close the night with a 2-hour, 45-minute episode of the Cheap Pop Podcast from back in the day with myself and Alpha, and that will close out our evening. On Sundays, after you hear Lovely Radio, at 4:10, you'll hear an episode of The Classroom from Spreaker, the 45-minute episode version of that show. You'll hear 5:30, the episode of Dirty Talk 101. Yeah, sorry. And then at 7:40, you get an episode of Cheap Pop Podcast Revisited. And then we close the night out with an episode of the Sidebar at 10:10. So that'll do it for Live 365 and everything that we have going on there. I hope you guys have truly enjoyed this, and we'll keep bringing it to you. Live 365, First GenXers Radio Network, Voices Presents, whatever you want to call us. We're here, we're live, and we're not going away. Peace. Back. And this time I remember to unmute myself. So unlike last week, the top half of the second part of the show is not going to be me muted and these two talking. It will be you hearing all three of us. Welcome back to the Cheap Pop Podcast.
We are a professional broadcasting group after all.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
We try. Well, at least we try. We attempt to be professional as much as possible.
Well,
So,
we are about what between the three of us combined, almost 30 years into this game. So, as far as doing this, so
Nah, 30. No.
I've been going at it since '08 with a small break, and I figure you've been around.
I've been about the same with the larger break.
Yeah.
You're the
Yeah,
outlier.
but I mean,
You're the
I've
out-
been.
But that's the
I
thing.
mean, I've been just on the entertainment circuit since
Yeah.
'93 because I started in comics.
That's the thing. See,
Yeah.
you're the old guy who is raising up our deficient grade levels from class average.
Oh man, fuck both of you motherfuckers.
Oh man. No, I kicked off with this with West Coast Bias and took a couple year break after West Coast Bias wasn't possible for me anymore, and then we came back and now we're doing this. Wow. It's been a long journey, but it's been a fun one.
Hell yeah, it's been fun. I'm
And
still
look forward.
having fun.
Yeah, oh
The
yeah.
fuck?
Oh yeah. All right, so guys, we are gonna do. I promised you guys a first, and if you just walk right up Jabroni Boulevard and make a right down Smackdown Alley, you'll see that instead of the two that are normally standing there, we now have three. You gotta say, but Dave's always there. Yes, but Dave normally does not participate in this part of the discussion. This time he can. So history is being made here, folks. As our brother Dave participates.
That's right. Because
Dave, it is finally time to join into the conversation, sir.
Join us.
Join us. Join us.
because Monday Night Raw is on Netflix.
Yep.
I have a Netflix account, so why the hell not?
Yep.
So yeah, I'm not going to shell out more money for Peacock just for wrestling or whatever.
Yeah.
I need to. I'm entering senior citizen age. I need to monitor my money usage. Otherwise, I'm going to end up eating cat food.
This was one of those. I'm already here moments.
So yeah.
So yes.
I did watch the beginning of the Netflix era for WWE.
And I have to say this. First and foremost, fuck you to all the people that are like, this is just a nostalgia act now. Look at what they did. They just trotted out a bunch of the old guys. It's a debut episode on a brand new platform. Of course, they're going to bring out all of the big names, the legends, and all of that, and have them make appearances because it helps pop viewership. And that's bottom line what it was about. But the stuff that they gave us, the few backstage segments and matches that they gave us that were all based off of current storylines or closing were amazing. So like, you had the nostalgia act. Like, you're not going to get one of those, what was it, with the big sheets hanging over the ring and the projector behind the sheets. You're not going to get that every Raw on Netflix. Next week, we're going to be back to the regular old Monday Night Raw, the same way it is. You're going to come in to either a backstage segment or an in-ring segment, and you're going to kick off Raw.
Yep.
The one thing that I loved, and I was telling Rune Scryer this earlier, one thing that I loved and saying is the setup. I'm loving the new setup, and the main reason is for years, for the past decade plus, WWE has had this setup with their Titantron, where it forced them to block off everything behind or tarp off everything behind the Titantron because it just wasn't a good seat. You weren't able to see the ring, blah blah blah. But now they've created this dugout style Titantron where the wrestlers come up from what feels like underground, but not really. Come up, and now there are seats on top of the Titantron, which just gives it way better of a feel. Which gives it way better of a feel. So bravo to Triple H, bravo to the guys at Netflix. Like I enjoyed the show. We can get into the details now of the individual matches, but just overall, I loved it. What were your thoughts overall, Saint?
The Netflix era begins.
Yep.
And that's about the only thing I can really say anything about it. Triple H is short of anything genius. Then you got, you have The Rock,
Yeah.
on the board and stuff like that. It's Gen X rules.
Yep. It's Gen X
We,
rules.
we
Yeah.
is Gen X
Or
rules.
in
And
their aspect, the Attitude Era rules.
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
attitude era rules.
yeah.
And it has been a very good product.
Yep.
You have a storyline that is possibly going to conclude next year sometime,
Yeah.
and it's been going for 4.5 years.
Yeah.
The bloodline storyline, and it's built up to this magnificent, it's had, people that are retired and all this other kind of stuff. So yeah. And
Sounds
then
good.
John Cena, the kickoff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
buddy.
Yep.
Yeah, that was nice right there.
Just yeah.
Dave.
Just speaking of someone returning to pro wrestling after being away since mid 2000s, um, creative did a great job. Everything was concise. They caught everyone up on the major storylines.
Yep. And why we got there
Made it
now.
very easy, very accessible to follow, and lots of great hints, lots of great build-ups. Um, well done to creative. They did a fantastic job.
Bravo.
Yeah.
For those,
And,
go ahead.
yeah.
Oh no, I was
It
just going to say, for those of you who didn't watch, basically it was a 4-match card. We opened with the battle for the Ulafala, tribal combat, Roman Reigns versus Solo Sikoa. Roman Reigns wins the Ulafala back. The second match was Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley gets her title back, which I saw coming
That
from
was
a mile away.
brutal.
Yeah.
That match was brutal.
We
Like when
follow.
she
Go ahead. No, go ahead. We'll
No,
get to
when-
review it, but yeah.
I was just gonna say that those riptides, man, that man. Yeah.
I love the
know
one to
she was in
Dominic too.
pain.
Well, I'll say, but and then we had what was the other one? Finn Balor versus Damian Priest is this week. What was the other match? The main event was Seth Rollins
what,
or not
Drew,
Seth Rollins,
That was
Drew
Seth
McIntyre
Rollins.
and Sami Zayn,
Yeah.
right? Oh no, Drew McIntyre and Jey Uso.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Drew and Jay. And then we closed with CM Punk and Seth Rollins in a battle for the
Yep.
ages. So yeah, we got our fill. For me, I've now added another shirt to my list. I now need my last time is now John Cena shirt, and I need an OTC Roman Reigns shirt. Like yeah. So but go on, Dave.
The matches were fantastic. My only critique of the matches really was that the Rhea Ripley Liv Morgan match, the commentary when you're listening to it, it was 50% about Dominic Mysterio, what a scumbag he is, and how he manipulated these two girls, and that. So yeah, the match did not pass the Bechdel test.
They focus on him a lot, like
Right.
that. You can tell that that's a star that Triple H is building, like
yeah.
not trying to build. He's actually building, like, and
yeah.
and it's by and you can tell by the way that he has Cole and them boys put him over.
Yeah.
But I
But
do
my,
agree that they could have focused more on what
I
was
mean,
actually happening in ring.
they just had right. They just had. I mean, and the narrative between Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan didn't need the
Yeah.
interjection of Dominic Mysterio. Liv betrayed Rhea. Two best friends now are enemies. It's a natural thing. You don't need to have this third party being interjected as the cause of all this drama
No.
in there. Even if the storyline did have them cause some of the drama,
Well,
but
but here's the only thing I would say as a counterpoint to that. As much as I agree with you that the announcers didn't need to focus on it, Dom has been at the center of that storyline almost since the beginning.
right,
You know what I'm saying? Dom is the prize that was passed by Rhea to Liv.
right.
And so to an extent I understand that there being some focus on Dom, but
But
I
not
understand right as
not
much as he
the as
right.
much as they did. Yeah.
Now, what
So
I am loving though, what I did love is this. Now, sorry, I'm gonna move us forward a little bit from the
oh yeah,
Liv match. I have heard just official report, not official report, but I've heard through the dirt sheets, read online in several places. Travis Scott will not be receiving any heat, and the WWE is more than happy to continue working with him in the future, despite Travis coming out for Jey Uso's intro with a blunt or with a joint in his hand and
mm,
smoking all the way down to the ring. I loved every minute of it. I told people you're not going to get a lot of f bombs. You're not going to see blood. You're not going to see blood every week. But shit like that will happen in the Netflix era because it doesn't really matter anymore
yep,
because they're not held to the same FCC rules that they would be if they were on network television or on cable television.
right.
So like I say, I doubt you're going to get many f bombs because the target audience is still kids. But stuff like that, a kid doesn't know what he's holding. As far as a kid knows, he's holding a cigarette. As far as a 4 or 5 year old knows. But those 17, 18, 19 year olds, maybe 16, 15, well, 14. Okay, so 14 and up.
They say
14
they
and
say
up.
memory is the first thing to go
Yeah.
when you're on the devil's lettuce, man.
17 and up would know what he's
Yeah,
doing.
come on now. Come
17
on.
and down would have no clue. So, but
Come
needless to
on.
say, it was great though.
This listen. This is Gen Z. Come on
Hmm.
now.
I know.
Keep
I'm
it a
not saying
buck.
they're not smart, but
No.
but things
Listen,
like the
listen,
Tide Pod Challenge makes me worry.
listen,
Uh,
listen,
just
listen,
saying, dude.
listen.
Like I'm not saying
I
they're dumb.
listen.
Uh,
I listen. I work in a middle school. The things you hear are incredible.
Yep.
but you got to understand
Please
that you got to
trust
understand though. You got to understand,
trust
bro,
the science.
that those kids were raised by our kids,
Yep.
and think about what we did to our kids as far as raising them. So like yeah, I know.
No. See,
Uh,
I raised my kids in the last decade, so that's yep.
yeah.
Nope.
All
So
right, but
back.
needless to
Hey,
say,
dodge that bullet.
Yeah. Yeah.
the main event was amazing in the fact that you had. First of all, another thing I wanted to deal with too is a lot of people have an issue with Roman Reigns hugging Cody Rhodes. They're like, dude, a year ago you were beating his ass. A bunch of TikTok videos splicing together the ass whooping that Cody took last year with them having with pictures, still frames of them having drinks. Look, I don't know, like I said, I enjoy the devil's lettuce from time to time, but not, my memory ain't that bad that I can't remember that last year on Monday Night Raw, those two stood in the middle of the ring and squashed their beef and hugged each other before The Rock left for the year to go do whatever the fuck he did until he came back at Survivor Series. I'm not understanding how that was missed, and all these people are like, why are they friends? They squashed their beef last year on the Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania. Go back and watch it. Well, actually, you can't right now because until like that's my biggest frustration with the move to Netflix is that because they signed a deal with Netflix already, none of the Monday Night Raws are available on Peacock anymore, but they're also not available on Netflix either.
The archives. Yeah.
Yeah, so now you can't go back and watch Monday Night Raw anywhere, but you can go back and watch, you can't go back and watch that one from a year ago. No, so I do apologize, but it happened last year. Just believe me. Okay, I watched it. Millions of people watched it with their own eyes. So stop playing dumb. But anyway, now that brings us to that main event. Before we get to the main event,
Yeah.
for that opening main event that was one hell of a match between Solo and Roman Reigns.
Great match. Great match.
Solo, for those you, Dave, you might not know because you haven't really been watching before this, but Solo Sokoa has come into his motherfucking own. Like from where he was when he first came up as Roman's enforcer to now is the man is an entire character on his own. He his promo ability has gone through the roof. Solo Sokoa is a badass. You look like you got something to say, Saint. What's up?
No, listen. I'm impressed with how he gets down. Yo,
What's up,
what's
Rio
good,
Boss?
Rio Boss?
Hey, Rio Boss.
Um, I'm impressed.
Yeah.
I'm just impressed with his mic skills.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I got to say.
If you saw his promo on Friday after during SmackDown, like I said, the promo with him and Paul Heyman, exactly chilling. The one with him and Paul Heyman right before the Monday Night Raw, the last Friday Night SmackDown before the Raw debut on Netflix. Solo, my boy, like it's hard for me to root against him. He's the bad guy version of the Bloodline, and just so people know, Roman Reigns after that matchup is now Raw exclusive. So there's not going to be a lot of Roman and Solo butting heads, like because Solo's going to be over on SmackDown. So now you're going to kind of have that NWO type style where you're going to have the OG Bloodline with Sammy, I believe Sammy, Roman, and Jay, and Jimmy potentially over on Raw, and then you're going to have the new Bloodline with Solo, Tama Tonga, Tongaloa, and Jacob Fatu, who is coming into his own as well. That promo that he hit between, which by the way, I don't know if I brought this up last time we talked wrestling, but I think there's going to be a certain dichotomy with Jacob Fatu moving forward that's going to be hilarious. Solo's the bad guy. Solo's a heel. Solo's supposed to be booed and gets so roundly.
Yep.
Until Jacob goes to say his part, he goes to say, "I love you, Solo," and the entire crowd says it with him. So it's going to add a really interesting dynamic as they boo him, and then as soon as Jacob said that, they all scream at him, "I love you, Solo."
Oh yeah.
It's going to be
Yeah.
really interesting.
But that's the nature of pro wrestling.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's go, Cena. Cena sucks. Anyway,
Yeah.
which I hope
Speaking
I
of-
hear that at least once sometime during this next year is we get a Let's Go Cena. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Speaking of Cena, I've never been a big Cena fan, but yeah, he worked that crowd perfectly for his promo. And going forward, if creative's smart, they're setting him up for a full title run where he'll get the title close to the end of the year and then lose it just before retiring. So he gets that record 17 times.
Well, December is his last.
Right.
December is his last month. So the way I saw it playing out is either he's going to win the Royal Rumble, like he said, or he's going to win Elimination Chamber. Because
Right.
Elimination Chamber is the last stop before Mania. And
Which
then
is, I think that he's not going to win Royal Rumble. He's going to come close, but he's not going to make it.
Yeah.
And so then he's going to hype up for Elimination Chamber. It's like, you know what? Never stop trying.
Yeah,
never give up.
They got to make the
That's
road
a-
hard for him. What's up?
No, I think that he's gonna win the Royal Rumble.
Yeah. Well, I could see it going that way, or I could see it going because there's two opportunities. Because it's either going to be because I still think that they're 100% setting up for Cody versus Roman at WrestleMania again, and they're setting up for John Cena probably versus Gunther. Because I doubt they're going to make that a triple threat match. So you're probably going to see John Cena go after the World Heavyweight Champion in Gunther because it really doesn't matter which World Championship he wins for his 17th as long as it's a World Championship.
When does Money in the Bank happen?
That's in June.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Because the other thing, I could see Cena trying, and then finally winning Money in the Bank. And then cashing in on that for a title match.
But SummerSlam?
Could be. But here's the only issue. I think that the moment that they're looking for is a WrestleMania moment. And I genuinely believe that. And like I said, I think it makes more sense for him to take the title off of Gunther than to take it off of Cody. But that's just me. But I think that also we're going to see Roman Reigns. I think that whoever wins, I think it's going to be between Cena and Reigns. And I think whoever wins is going to throw the other over. So what's going to happen is then you're going to have the elimination chamber for whichever title. If Cena decides to go after Gunther, you're going to have the elimination chamber match for whoever's going to face Cody, and then Roman will win that match, and then that's how you get to Roman versus Cody. The whole while they're building Cena, because you got to figure they need a longer runway with Cena versus Gunther because Cena can't be there every week.
Yeah.
Like Cena's not going to be there every single week. So you need a longer runway. So you have, I believe like that's where I can lean in the Saints thing. If Cena wins the Royal Rumble, now he picks Gunther. They can set up for their matchup all the way to WrestleMania, and then you have Roman win Elimination Chamber, and you don't need as long to build up Cody versus Roman because that's something we've already seen before. So the story's already built into the match. So yeah, I could see it going that way, but then again, no. I didn't see WrestleMania happening at WrestleMania 30. I really doubted their ability to put Daniel Bryan over, and they did a hell of a job. So who knows? But I definitely think that Cena winning the 17th title, WrestleMania is the most likely place for it to happen. I would say either WrestleMania or SummerSlam.
So, on last thing on John Cena, because Cena does lots of press with kids and stuff,
Yeah.
and so
Make-a-wish.
he was at but he was at a press conference, and a kid asked him, "What's your favorite food?" "What's my favorite food?"
Oh,
You,
I
you,
thought
you'd
it
have to ask. You'd have to
Yeah.
ask Nikki.
yeah. He kind of that's from an old press conference back when they were together.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
because she's
thought they were
married. She
still-
was actually married and now divorced from the guy that she was on Dancing with the Stars with, and her and John
Ah.
Cena broke up shortly after the beginning of not Total Divas, but the one that's just about Brie Bella and Nikki Bella. But he kind of hints at, like, he says it without saying it, like. Nikki, he's like, you have to ask her, but he's like, no, I'm just kidding, and in classic John Cena fashion, that's what I say. I think John Cena is one of those dudes that, I hate to say it, he seems kind of uptight to me, but he would still be super cool to hang around. Like, he's that dude
he's
that
a
be uptight but
genuinely-
cracking jokes.
He's a genuinely good guy.
Right.
You know. Yeah.
Right, 100%. And so, and now we get over to CM Punk, best in the world, versus Seth Rollins, best in the world. And we're
gonna skip past Drew versus.
Oh no, we can talk
Jay?
Drew versus
Okay, yeah.
Drew versus Jay. That was an interesting match. Like in the fact that I was surprised Jay didn't go over. Like, I was truly surprised. They're building Drew to something, and I think it may be Drew versus Roman, but we'll see. Or maybe inserting Drew in that Cody and Roman match. But your thoughts on that match, gentlemen?
I mean,
The McIntyre match was good. It was decent. There was definitely some moments.
Yeah.
There's definitely some absolute good moments.
Yeah, 100%.
And some getting smacked around, and it seems like somebody was really getting their ass kicked. But yeah, it was decent. And Jay, Jay should have won that though.
Yeah, I think so. Dave, your
Of
thoughts?
course, interference.
I just think that given the condensed history and the way the commentary was going, I think that they're building Drew up as a good wrestler who's hit his limit without having backup.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
And if I were in creative, what I would pitch is, a small enforcer gang, just like the bloodline is all based around the Anoa'i family.
Yeah.
Have Drew McIntyre, Sheamus, and Finn Balor work it out and form like a Celtic brotherhood thing.
I
going
can see
in.
it. I can see it.
Okay.
Even call it the Red Branch, which was the name of the Irish knights that protected the High King. And Sheamus saying, "You know what, Drew? You may not be Irish, but you're the second best thing. You're Scottish. You're our cousin." And
Well, those two are already like brothers in real life. Like that. That's
yeah.
already they've already fought each other and then not fought each other. Like they're just there. They're thick as thieves in real life.
But then you get a good, solid, real heavy 3-man crew, supporting each other. preventing slide-ins and other stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, if you
Um,
if you notice, like right now in WWE, there's only really like one major faction, and then
the
there's a
bloodline.
couple of small, yeah, the Bloodline. There's a couple
Yeah.
of small factions in like the Alpha or not Alpha Academy, but American Made,
Mhm.
and a couple of other groups that just kind of run with each other. The
Right.
tag teams.
Sure.
Which, by the way, if you didn't watch SmackDown, basically Triple H did a really good job of promoting the tag team division on SmackDown, and it looks like they're going to be doing a good job of paying homage to tag team wrestling, which is why they put the Motor City Machine Guns on SmackDown, because that's
Yeah.
going to be like they're going to lead the tag team division, and I'm loving every minute of it with DIY. But anyway, but yeah,
But yeah, so
I would love to see that.
that would be, I think that'd be a good story. And also because they could play spoiler in between Bloodline and New Bloodline,
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
whichever side needs to get the push in there, they can jump in and help them out, or spoil, or just whatever.
Whatever
So
needs
it,
to be. There's lots
yeah,
of story there.
there is lots of story.
Yeah,
So,
100%.
but good wrestling match, lots nice.
Yeah.
I liked it. Yeah, it was good.
No, 100%. Like the match itself, it's Sami Zayn and Drew McIntyre. These are two guys that have always been excellent in the ring, going back to his El Generico days in ROH. Sammy Callahan, Sami Zayn, whatever you want to call him, and there is a different Sammy Callahan as well. But Sami Zayn, he's been amazing, and this match was just another example of that. And then now we get to the other, like, and that's another thing. People talk about time, like, oh, there was 110 minutes of commercials and backstage segments, and I don't give a shit, because the four matches that were wrestled went at least I think most of them went at least 20 minutes to a half hour each.
Yeah.
So we got a good wrestling match out of
And
all four matches.
and pro tip: if you're not watching live, you catch it after the live broadcast.
Mm,
You can just fast forward through the commercials.
yeah, yeah. And then really you only get don't you only get the WWE commercials? You don't get the advertisement commercials like
I
with
I don't know.
what you
I
call it.
just
You only get the WWE commercials. So
yeah.
like, cause understand, like out of every commercial block, which by the way, I have to say bravo to Netflix and WWE, because their commercial blocks were shorter than standard TV. Like their commercial blocks were no longer than about maybe 2 minutes, 3 minutes
Yeah.
apiece, when they actually were running commercials. And so to me, yeah, you can fit 5, 6 commercials in a 2.5 minute block, but
Yeah.
2.5 minutes versus the average half-hour sitcom on live TV, you're only getting actually 18 minutes worth of actual show. The other 12 minutes is commercials and adverts. And so to me, it was quite impressive that they kept those, because they didn't feel like they took forever. I didn't feel like I
Right.
could, like I could go all the way to the store and come back and they'd still be on commercial, like I do sometimes when they're on USA. I felt like I needed to stay near, because they were going to come back from commercial pretty quickly. So bravo to Netflix, and bravo to WWE for making that happen like that.
Yep.
They knew they were going to have commercials. At least they made them bearable.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
And last thing I will say about this is, for people who are like, oh, Raw's back to 3 hours. Yes and no. Triple H himself has said that the show will go as long as it needs to tell the story that they want to tell. So if that's 40 minutes, that's 40 minutes. If it's
And
2.5 hours, that's two and a half
they
hours.
don't
If it's
and they
4
don't
hours,
have
it's
to
4 hours.
yeah. And they don't
Yep.
have to fit into. They don't have to condense it into a pre-formatted time block
Right.
like they do for network.
Right. 100%. So this Netflix thing is going to be fun. It's going to
Yeah.
be fun. Still same CG product, just with a little bit more edge.
Yeah.
So
But yeah, so wrapping up the night with CM Punk and Seth Rollins,
yeah,
and
those two.
that was a fantastic match. I mean, how many? I mean, both of them just pulling out all the stops.
Mm-hmm.
They're pulling out classic finishers from themselves, from each other, from other wrestlers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how many pedigrees did Seth give to CM Punk?
Go on, Sam.
Listen, I don't know, but I'm gonna tell you, if that match was at WrestleMania, when Seth Rollins did the GTS to CM Punk,
Yep.
Yep.
that would have been a WrestleMania moment like a motherfucker because
Yeah.
man, I looked and I was like, did he just
And we
Yep.
may
did he
still get
just
that.
And
And
then
we may
did
still
he
get
just
that.
and then
did he
Punk
just do that?
and Punk retaliates with like
A
2 or 3
stomp.
stomps.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that was pretty. That
Yeah.
that was yeah, that
And
was they were robbing each other blind
yeah.
on those matches,
And
man.
it took what 2 GTSs in a row to put down Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was. But um, yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
they're gonna face each other in WrestleMania. I already know that.
but
That's coming.
can we have a moment of thoughts and prayers for the announcer table? That that just got such a workout throughout the entire night. Oh my gosh, from beginning to the end. Oh,
Yes. Yes, very much so.
That's one of the reasons. You know what? That's one of my favorite things to do in the WWE 2K24 is you put them up, you put them through a table,
Uh,
and then you put them through oh my goodness.
oh yeah. Well, no, my favorite moment on 2K24, and you know we'll get into that when we get to the video game part. But I had it just this week on the stream with the female girl. Yeah, like now I know how to let's say Mick Foley a bitch is what I'll call it. Now I know how to Mick Foley a bitch, and I plan on doing it quite a few times. Any Extreme Rules match I have. So, but all right. So that's gonna wrap up our wrestling talk. We're gonna jump on over to your favorite section of the all right, and we are back. All right, so as I said, this past week, you guys can go check it out. I played WWE 2K24, started the My Rise Unleashed. And one of the first things you do, and you learn to do with your character, which I made a powerhouse female character. She's like 6'2", 180, like Rhea Ripley style. And
there you go.
they taught me how to set up a
6'2"?
table. Yeah, she's like 6'2". Set up a table.
That's Wonder Woman size.
You know,
God damn,
strike
bro.
a match on the bottom of her foot and set a table on fire, and then put it through it. Like that was so damn fun, and just
Yeah. Oh yeah.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
great.
That match.
Uh,
Yeah.
that was just fun. Fun. One of the many fun things about WWE 2K24, 100%. But that's my little moment there, my little video game moment. So let's see. All
No,
right, go ahead.
I just threw I threw Tiffany Stratton off of an ambulance
Uh,
and then and threw her in there and I won the belt.
nice. Saint plays with his original character there. Oh yeah, by the way, for those of you who do watch, I apologize for me getting my ass kicked multiple times in a row on UFC 5. For those of you who watched, I promise to do better next time. I'm tired of getting knocked out by everybody. Like this ain't fair. But I will stop that shit coming up soon. Anyway, they're talking about. There's an article that I just pulled up, and the headline just reads: Xbox Game Pass titles can face huge loss of premium sales. Basically, talking about the fact that AAA titles, AA titles, single A titles can lose money by allowing Game Pass to drop their game because people who might have gone out and bought the game won't, and I guess they receive a bigger cut from somebody buying the game outright than they do from Game
Yeah.
Pass. So it could be costing them money. Gentlemen, your thoughts?
I think it's a double-edged sword here
Yeah.
because on the one hand, yeah, if it's continuously on Game Pass, then yeah, the studio is going to lose money on that
Yeah.
because they're not going to get the cut that they need to recoup. On the other hand, with so much doubt about AAA developers now,
Mm,
and such a buy-in on a video game, such a buy-in now for video games. It's
yeah.
like, okay, they're not performing the way that they used to. Do I really want to spend 70, 80, $100 to get this game day one? I don't know.
Yeah. I refuse.
I
I refuse to pay 80 to 100. I'll wait till it goes on
right,
sale. I
right.
refuse
And
to pay 80 to 100.
so in that vein, Game Pass, PS Plus, it can help
Yeah.
because it's a try before you buy. It's a no risk trial. So what I think that needs to happen is they need to have um, come to a limited time arrangement
Yeah.
on Game Pass and
Right.
PS Plus, where the AAA games they'll come out, they'll be on these services for a couple months, maybe 3 months or so, but they disappear before, say, um, say Thanksgiving,
Yeah.
before
Well,
the major holiday buying season starts.
I'm not gonna lie. I can get on board with that, but I kind of like the rotation that they have with MLB The Show, because if you are a Game Pass member, you can get the new version of the show on the day it drops. You can
Right.
download it for free, and you can play it until the next version comes out. Like you can play it until from March of this year. I'll be able to play MLB The Show 25 all the way till March of 2026 on Game Pass, and unless they've changed it. This is how it's been with the last couple of ones because I've bought both of the last two MLB The Shows, but I bought them right as the new one was coming out, so I bought them for
Right.
like $10.
But
You
what's
know,
who makes MLB The Show?
it's actually
Sony.
Sony.
Oh, it's actually Sony. Okay.
Yeah, it's actually a Sony product, which is
Well,
why it baffles me that it's on Game Pass. But
yeah.
hey,
Well, it's Sony.
well when well no
whatever.
when well when MLB The Show originally came out, it was a Sony exclusive. You could only
Yeah.
play the show on a PlayStation, but eventually Sony realized we're cutting off like half the market here.
Yes.
We can be on Xbox
Yeah.
too, and then everybody makes money.
Yes. Sony succeeds despite their executive suite.
Exactly. Uh, but
They
yeah,
just
one
don't.
hundred percent.
They just don't succeed as much as they could.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of games that I'll be honest with you. If I hadn't played them on Game Pass, I probably wouldn't have played them.
Right.
Like you said, I wouldn't have bought them. I wouldn't have played them. But Game Pass is definitely an entry. Like I got my daughter a Game Pass account the minute that I gave her my old Xbox One, and the reason for that is it allowed me to give her an instant library of like 200 games
Yeah.
without having to buy anything other than a monthly subscription.
Exactly.
You
Yeah.
know, and so she ended up like, oh god, she played on it for a few hours, like that first day, just jumping around from game to game to game to game to game. And I was just like, hey, and they now have the cloud feature where you don't even have to download the games to your hard drive in order to play them. You can play them on cloud. PlayStation has a similar feature.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's ingenious. Yeah, just let me play them on your server, like you know. But saying, what are your thoughts on Game Pass and its effect on purchasing of these titles?
Well, I'll just put it to you this way. Um, Indiana Jones, perfect, perfect example. Like, I've been playing that on the Xbox, and you know, that's a game like, hey, now if there's some DLC or what have you, I'll go ahead and play it, but to warrant an actual purchase of it, if it's just a one, unless it's, well, I'll take that back because sometimes those kind of games you can watch like movies. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah,
can watch those, you can play those particular games over and over again. It's um it's other games that are kind of in that genre that's kind of like, nah, I don't think I can do it just one time.
yeah,
That's kind of like Mass Effect.
yeah.
Yep.
That's a game with a high replay value for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Mass Effect Andromeda.
Yeah.
Cause and I mean it was good, but it's like
Was
Mhm.
it?
but in terms of the Game Pass, I love the library. I do like the AAA games that do
Hmm.
drop in, especially like Call of Duty, like the aforementioned Indiana Jones.
Hmm. Yeah, you could
And then
get
it's
Call of Duty
always
6 right off the bat, couldn't you? Black Ops 6. You
yeah,
could get that
yeah,
then the night it dropped.
yeah, yeah.
So
I did that too. So
for sure, for sure. Dave, any interesting things from your side of the internet over there?
No, not
No,
really.
nothing. All right, let's see
So
if I can dig
no.
up something else here.
Well, I do wanna mention something because
What's
we
that?
speaking of Xbox. So, ladies and gentlemen, we already know out there in video game land that Activision is once again stepping up to the plate when it comes to Xbox.
Yeah.
And we are talking about the possibility of streaming the Marvel classics.
Oh
We're
yeah.
talking about
oh
Spider
yeah,
Man Web of Shadows. We're talking about Shattered Dimensions. We're talking about Deadpool. We're talking about Marvel Alliance 1 and 2.
Yeah,
And
buddy.
then, of course, we have Wolverine, X Men Origins. Yes.
Yes, yes.
X Men Destiny can kiss my ass because
yeah.
I hate it.
Yep.
Yeah, and I'm sorry. I mean,
Rise of
I
the Infinite.
tried to play. I tried to. Well, no, 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 no. We're talking about the X Men RPG that you had to create your own. You had to create your own character. He or she could be a mutant or is a mutant, and it was terrible gameplay. Like
Mhm.
I don't know why. I'd rather have X Men Legends because
Yeah,
is a
exactly.
better
That's the
that's a better game. But
that's the game that's the ones that I was really missing from that announcement
yeah,
is X-Men Legends 1 and 2.
yeah.
Uh,
But I'll listen. I'll take it for whatever it's worth because that right there brings me back to depending on the game and the franchise, I will switch consoles completely because I like the quality and the drive and the storytelling. But I also like my retro games. So with that being said, hey,
I always say why
take
why
my
not both?
yeah. Yeah,
So
yeah. Oh no,
what was that?
it's always a case of why not both.
Yeah.
But I'm just happy that these Marvel games can finally see the light again because some of these games I would not be able to finish. Oh, and also Ultimate Spider-Man 2. That was the other one too.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So last subject of the day, gentlemen. We're gonna throw it out there. For those of you people who were fans of the Fallout TV series on Amazon Prime, you guys are gonna be left waiting for a little bit longer. Because thanks to filming was supposed to begin on January 8th, and guess where?
yep.
In the LA area. And unfortunately, LA is literally on fire right now.
Yep.
So so it's been postponed and pushed back out of course, an abundance of caution for and worriedness about the safety of the actors, etc., the crew, etc. So they have not released the date of which or if they may shift the filming to somewhere else so they don't lose time. But we may not see it whenever it was supposed to potentially come out. We may not see it drop then. So those of you who are looking forward to a Fallout may be in for a hell of a or a hell of a or not hell of a long, but a long wait. So, gentlemen, your
Mhm.
thoughts on season two being delayed in its filming?
You know, they got to do what they got to do. And I think that's the right thing to do. I can I can wait. I'm fine.
Right there with you.
Yeah. What he said.
All right, and
Mhm.
then last
So,
was a
one note
sure.
on, I wasn't going to bring it up because, the LA fires are absolutely serious and absolutely horrible. I didn't want to do this to um, make it seem like I'm making light of it.
Yeah.
But from Polygon, um, all you Final Fantasy 14 players, um, Square Enix is delaying the game's automatic housing demolition on the North American servers so that the players that are affected by the fires and are unable to log into the game won't lose their digital homes.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice. They backing up everybody, huh?
Yep.
Nice.
So,
All right.
yeah. So basically, the way that the automatic demolition was going is that the players are going to lose their homes after 45 days of not accessing the property because of the high demand within the community. But that's on pause for
Duration of the
uh,
fires.
duration of the fires, just for the North American servers.
Nice.
And they've done this for the 2018 Japanese floods, Hurricane Michael, the COVID-19 panic, the
Nice.
23 Turkey Syria earthquake, and the 24 Noto earthquake and
Mm.
Hurricane Helene. So
Wow.
yeah, in a world where you've got you know developers acting like EA, Square Enix is looking out for its players.
There you go. Well, they keep giving us these great Final Fantasy games, so
Yeah.
I want to say, all right. So last subject of the day. For those of you who were looking forward to a game by the name of Transformers Reactivate, it has officially been canceled by Splash Damage after showing a trailer that teased fans at the Game Awards. It was supposed to be a 1 to 4 player online title that would have seen Autobots and Decepticons band together to fend off a new alien threat on Earth. Developer Splash Damage is known for Gears 5 for doing the popular multiplayer components of titles like Gears 5, Batman Arkham Origins, and some players were interested to see what they were going to do with the Transformers brand, but I guess we won't be seeing that anytime soon because the game has been shelved.
Wow.
And
Gentlemen, your thoughts?
I'm just wondering um, where this originated. If where the cancellation order originated. If it originated from the developer,
Mm.
or if it came down from Hasbro.
That's a hell of a question.
That is a hell of a question. Like 100%.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Because Hasbro, you know, they don't want to put out new stuff for the IPs that they do have. For G.I. Joe, for Transformers. They don't want to put out the new stuff. They just want to cash in on FOMO nostalgia.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
They
just
just they,
insane.
they gear up for San Diego. They hit their money spot in San Diego and then ship all the excess off to Walmart and Ross to
Yeah.
go through the discount life cycle.
Discount lifestyle.
Yeah, I mean
It's
it
hilarious.
is.
I ain't never heard it called that before. I'm not saying I just never heard it
Well,
called
I mean, you realize that these stores, aside from Walmart, but Ross is part of a greater chain.
that. Mm.
I mean, it basically used to go from um, from the high end stores down, then Mervin's buy it,
Yeah, then the discount stores. Yeah.
and then Mervin's ship what they didn't sell after time to to like to Ross.
Mm.
Then from Ross to TJ Maxx.
Mervyn's.
Yeah, and
I ain't
then
heard that name in a while.
I know. Yeah, and there's a reason for
Southland.
it. Yep.
Yeah. Actually, I'm
Southland
talking about the Mervyn
Mall.
parking. I'm actually talking about the Mervyn's parking lot on what was that? Not second. In Hayward, over there by that Safeway where Jaimel used to live.
Yep.
Yeah,
And there's
the
and
Mervyn's
there's
parking lot over there.
Yeah,
But
that
yeah,
wasn't that over there by Southland?
No, that was on the opposite side of the town from Southland. Like the one I'm talking about, the Mervin's parking lot that I'm talking about was multi-story, and it was next to like this Mervin. It wasn't an actual Mervin store; it was Mervin like headquarters type thing. Right where you take, I believe it's Second Street out to, and it turns into 580. You can get on 580 and either go to Oakland or you can go out to Castro Valley Boulevard and make the right on the Castro Valley Boulevard. Like
yeah,
over there used to be a Mervin's headquarter thing, and it had a multi-tier.
yep,
We used to play laser tag in it all the time.
yep, yep,
Me and my
Yeah.
boy Peckrite, yeah.
yeah.
Uh,
But
but yeah,
yeah, it's an entire discount food chain where it just
makes
trickles
sense.
down.
That way
Yeah,
there's no waste.
yeah,
You know?
because they were all owned by the same holding company.
Okay. Okay, so one
So
dude just making money off the same shit over and over and over and over again, huh?
yeah, because
Uh,
they buy, at the top tier they buy it at the discount from the bigger retail stores. They buy the discounted stuff, where it's not selling. They need to get room for new merchandise.
yeah.
So they put it on clearance for 45%, which is basically just above um, wholesale price,
Mm.
and just so they can recoup something. And then they just shifted on down the line as new merchandise was getting cleared out from above.
That
So,
works
yeah.
for me. Shuffle on down, shuffle on down. All right, so now we're going to get to my favorite part because I get to do silly shit like this. And we get to come back with the segment, Where Can We Find You Next? All right, so today we're going to start
That
off.
sucked, man.
It was fun for me. I didn't say it was going to be fun for everybody else. I announced that it was just going to be fun for me. That's why it's my favorite part. Anyway, go ahead, Saint. Tell us where can we find you next, brother.
All right, where I can find myself next. So tonight, we're gonna be switching gears. I'm pretty much going to be doing interactive games on Sunday nights because I mean I want to do music on Sunday nights, but man, it gets a little too late, and get a little too late, and I can at least handle a few hours of sleep. But no, I'm gonna be doing interactive Sundays, and then on Tuesdays I'll be doing MVT Deuce.
All
Works
right.
better for me, yeah.
All right.
Works for us. Dave,
Okay.
yourself?
I
But
will
tonight I'm
be.
I'm do- oh sorry.
No,
But
no.
I am gonna be doing one tonight though. So
Okay.
What
it's
you
it's
doing?
gonna be a little different. No.
A game
No,
tonight?
the interactive Sundays.
Okay.
Yeah, what you
Cool.
doing tonight?
I'm still not quite sure, but it'll be adult in nature and it'll be grown folks like Gen X, real shit. So
All
So like Custer's Last Stand.
yeah, no, not that kind of fuckery.
All right,
Busy shit,
Dave.
Larry. Okay. All right. I will be back tonight with the night shift, continuing going through Starfield, and yeah, I had a great clip last night where I realized that I've been so focused on Shattered Space, I've been leaving a lot of the basic missions for Starfield ungone. So
Mm.
did back to Vectera, went to go rescue Barrett, did my usual thing of clearing out the pirate's nest, started gathering everything up, and I jump up onto onto a roof, and all of a sudden, wait, this is a body can move? No, motherfucker ain't dead. I'm literally standing right behind them. And I'm like,
Get him.
okay, to the head.
Well, all
So
right.
yeah, but I'm going to continue on with Starfield.
All
But big announcement, big changes starting in February. I'll be splitting my time between my Xbox Series X and my PlayStation 5 for the night shift.
Nice.
So I'm still going to be continuing on with Starfield. And I'm also going to be doing Warhammer 40K,
Okay.
getting back into that at some point in February. But on Sundays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays, that's going to be Tuesdays and Thursdays are going to
Okay.
be Xbox. Sunday, Wednesday, and Or wait a minute, how do I have this set up? I'm trying to remember. No, it is going to be Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. To
Okay.
have this worked out. Uh, Sunday and Saturday are going to be, or no, Monday and Friday are going to be Xbox.
Okay.
Warhammer 40K on Monday night, Starfield on Friday night, uh, and in February we're going to be starting Sunday is going to be playthrough of Marvel Spider-Man and the DLC,
Yeah.
leading into playthrough of Spider-Man 2 and DLC.
Okay.
Saturday nights is going to be Horizon Zero Dawn and DLC,
Nice.
leading into Horizon Forbidden West and DLC.
Okay.
Wednesday is going to be Baldur's Gate 3.
Nice. Baldur's
That is
Gate
all coming your way on February.
in February.
And my contribution to Retro Saturdays on First Generation X's, I am going to be starting up the classic Gold Box Advanced Dungeons and Dragons computer games from 1983, I want to say.
Nice.
Back on from my Apple II, I'm going to be playing those through Good Old Games. The entire original computer games are available. So once I get my computer up and streaming, we're going to be getting into that for my contribution for Retro Saturday. And we're talking way retro. Back
Nice.
when you were the king of the world, when you had 128K of RAM.
Heck
You are a
yeah.
computer magnet.
Oh, no shit. Dave bringing back memories.
Oh
All right.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So for me, it's real simple. Same place you can always say. Same different day. Now, you can find me at 6 p.m. here tonight. It's already been confirmed. O'Malley will be joining me for another great episode of The Classroom. We're going to be talking 49ers off season. We're going to be talking Warriors and their up and down season. And we're also going to be talking about the NFL playoffs. So be sure to join us for that. And then
about the,
also, what's up?
How about MLB banning for life those two chuckle parks at Mud Mookie Betts at the World Series?
Yeah, well, that's consequences to your actions.
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Pretty much. Another episode of America's Dumbest Criminals. But well, I'll say. And then on the video game tip, you can find me again tomorrow night playing a little college football 25 and a little Madden 25. Yeah, so that'll be it. And then I'm back on normal schedule. Wednesday being NBA 2K25 and WWE 2K24 on Thursday.
You bet.
All right, real quick. I just want to say that this starts our new, I guess technically our new season, so to speak. You guys saw the opening montage trailer. It's 2025, it's magical. So, we getting ready to go ahead and get this done right. We have Sugar and Spice will be coming to First GenXers in a new form, and it's going to be great. We have a lot of good things coming. So, ladies and gentlemen, you know, we ain't got next. We've already been here, so that's what's up.
All right, y'all. So that's going to close us out for this week. After a wonderful 2 hours, I hope you guys have enjoyed us and had a good laugh.
All right, and I'm
all that
raiding.
lovely stuff. So Saint's going to raid us out, so you'll have new content to watch. Thanks to Ryu Boss for joining us. As usual, Sajante, thanks for moderating. Let's see, TJ Too Cute, thanks for chiming in, had us laughing. We appreciate you all for coming in. And I will see you next in just 2 hours on The Classroom with the lovely and amazing O'Malley. Peace.